How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. How's it going?
It's going very well, and I will tell you why. I read that you are also a Tom Brady fan, just like me.
Hold on. I don't know if I should spin my camera, but I have a gigantic painting of him right there. I also have this signed Bucks helmet from Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. I've got three other signed helmets upstairs. So yes, I'm a little bit of a fan.
So I have to ask you about the helmet. Okay, how did you get that? Is that like something like someone got for you? Did you buy it? Like how?
I think there was like a day where there was like a limited number of them on a site. I bought it. I was just like,
No, you don't have to.
This matters to me. This matters
No,
too much to me.
I grew up near the stadium, so I was
Okay.
following the Patriots. This is not where I meant this interview to go, but
No.
I'm a big Tom Brady fan, and I'm also rooting for him on the Bucks. I just think he's a class act.
I fully agree with that. I think anyone that was like, oh, we shouldn't support him because he's on a new team, it just that was stupid. That was disrespectful to everything he did for that team.
Oh, please. I'm a huge Patriots fan, but no, he's amazing. He's the GOAT. Amazing.
I'm with you on that one. That one.
So I could do the whole interview just on Tom Brady, but jumping into
but we probably
other
should.
shit. So when you got asked to do this project, were you sort of like, yeah, this is an episode of Punk'd and I'm not falling for it?
I didn't necessarily think that, but it definitely didn't make sense. Like I was like, why? I'm a weird Australian dude sitting in his spare bedroom. I'm like, why? What do you mean Hollywood, Ryan Reynolds, big time directors? What do you mean? I was confused. But once like I had the meeting with them and they explained it and their thought process, it all did make a lot of sense.
Sure. Listen, you're very successful at what you do. And I think a lot of people might not realize what goes on behind the scenes. I'm curious, what do you think actually would surprise people to learn about being like a live streamer, being a professional gamer?
I have spent probably 8 times more, like, in terms of total time editing than I ever have filming or playing games in the last 6.5 years. Like, I think people don't think you just like, oh, it's a 10-minute video, dude. He plays games for 10 minutes, adds a couple cuts or sends it off to an editor. It's like, I edit my own videos. Like, I come up with my own ideas. I do my own filming. Like, I do the whole process. And, there was times where I was doing like, 5 or 6 videos a week when I was in my real big growth stage, and I was sleeping 3 or 4 hours a night sometimes. Like, I'm lucky I had such a loving mother that could put up with my crap, and I was still living at my parents' house, and she'd like cook for me and clean up after me and stuff. And I was so lucky to have that because I was a zombie. I was a zombie doing that. So I think that's my biggest thing is like people think it's easy. And obviously, we are very lucky to do it because we're passionate about what we do every day. There can be a lot of money in it and stuff, but that doesn't mean it's easy, if that makes sense. Like I was a construction worker before this, and that was definitely a lot easier. So
yeah, something. I have a buddy who does construction, and I try explaining to people. I'm like, to me, that is like I don't want to say a real job, but like if you're standing in the sun, like doing what you got, I mean, that's a completely different beast.
Yeah. So I think there's just different challenges in every career path. I think, and I don't blame people for thinking those things. I thought the same thing before I got into it. It's just, it does surprise you how much actual work goes into everything and to getting everything right, especially once you get to a bigger and bigger scale.
One of the things that I love about video games is every year it seems like the technology gets better and better. The games get more immersive. What do you think games are on like the cusp of being able to do that they currently can't do? What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to when we can have a full VR experience, which in a lot of ways you kind of already can. Like even those games, like it's kind of happening in the background. But I have a friend who has made a lot of VR videos, so I used to sort of see what he would do. And just the way you can interact in those worlds now and, the future of like, all of that. And maybe that's still 20 years away for it to be properly perfect. But I think that's just going to change every immersive experience that we have in terms of how we see movies and how we see entertainment productions, how we see games, all of that. I think it's all going to change with virtual reality.
I
AR.
Completely agree. What's a game that you wish more people knew about?
I've been asked this a couple of times. And I wish I had an answer just because I have slacked so much in like the indie scene in the last couple of years, focusing mostly just on the big projects of like the big games. I don't know. That's a tough one. Like I've been I think on the big scale, I think games have been slacking a lot lately. There hasn't really been that big game that sort of, captured people lately. And I definitely haven't had my finger on the indie scene. So I don't know if I necessarily have an answer for that. I still play RuneScape every now and then, old school RuneScape. So if, more people could play that, that'd be nice.
Well, that's another thing is like you obviously, do you get to play games? Like, do you want to play games for fun at this point? Is it hard, or like once you sign off, you're like, I'm done. I don't want to do stuff.
It definitely corrupts your experience of playing games for fun, mostly not because you don't enjoy them, but because you feel guilty for enjoying them. You feel guilty for not working. Like if I'm spending time playing a game, it's like, could I be doing something that's content related right now? Could I be doing something could I be editing? Could I be doing something else? Because you could, like, that's the thing when I was talking about, like, this being easier from the outside than it is, like, for us in reality. It's our entire existence. Like, you don't switch off when you do this. So, like, you can always be doing more. You can always be pushing further ahead. You can always be doing a bigger video, a bigger project. So, yeah, it's been a while. I think I've been playing a couple games recently with my sister and my girlfriend. So that's been a nice change. But most of the last 6.5 years, no. Like, I can play RuneScape because you can do that at like a lot of that AFK and just click once every 10 minutes. So that's like why that's quite a good game for me. But otherwise, no, I haven't really got to enjoy too much.
I completely understand what you're saying. Same thing with Collider.
It's a tough gig.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, man. And
thank
congrats on being part of such a cool movie.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.